Looks like we managed to get away.
We got out in time. It's nice to meet you, Labris. I'm Yukari Takiba.
Oh, yes. I'm Kanemata. Wow, so it's true that you're like Aiga's son. Oh, and this is Koromaru. Huh? A dog? He's not just a pet. Koromaru might not look like it, but he can fight as well.
Yeah, one of the members of the P3 crew is a dog. And he actually, his weapon of choice throughout P3 was he wielded a kunai in his mouth. Beginning personnel scans. Everyone on this helicopter seems to be a member of the Shadow Operatives. According to the new data I was given during my repairs, they are all Mitsuru-san's friends since high school. These people are all comrades who have fought alongside Mitsuru-san and each other.
Takeba-san? You're dressed in a interesting way.
Huh? Oh, this? Yeah, I got picked up suddenly from my job and I didn't have any time to change. I bet I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Also, you can just call me Yukari. I hope we get along, Labris.
But to think that organization would come after us now at such an important time. If Kurosawa-san hadn't gotten that tip, we'd be doomed. Hey, right. What's going on with those guys? Who are they again? Public safety? Oh, that's right. You don't know.
Kenkun politely explains the situation to me. Some people in the public safety department don't think well of the Shadow Operatives. When Mitsuru-san and the others went missing, public safety took advantage of this confusion and attempted to take control over the Shadow Operatives' headquarters. They have been trying to remove Mitsuru-san from her position and showed up at the lab in an attempt to confiscate me for evidence. To move this quickly after she disappeared, though, public safety must have some way of knowing what's going on within the Shadow Operatives.
They say Mitsuru-san set everything up. She would never. I can't understand it either. All this about honor and adult circumstances is foolish.
Yeah, but there are some people in public safety who don't agree with that. Or else Kurosawa-san wouldn't have gotten that anonymous tip.
Oh, that reminds me. I wonder if Kurosawa-san's okay.
That's okay. He's got Kazuma's skill set. He'll just beat everyone up and slam them into walls and hit them with bicycles.
Koromaru says that he's all right.
Huh? Can you understand dogs too, Yukari-san?
Well, no, but I've known Koromaru for a while, and that just seems like what he's saying. I'm sure Kurosawa-san will be just fine.
Koromaru-san's white fur reminds me of something. Snowy, my friend who I met on that southern island. I can tell from Yukari-san's words that all the other people here in this helicopter know each other very well.
So where are we going now anyway? We're gonna go look for Mitsuru-san and them, right?
Right. It looks like there was an increased shadow reading someplace called Inaba, and they were headed there. We'll go that way for now.
Inaba.
That's right. This could be the continuation of the events from yesterday, an ordeal. Elizabeth's word... continuation of the events from yesterday, an ordeal. Elizabeth's words from my dream echo in my mind.
So gloomy. I'm sure Mitsuru-senpai's fine. She's got Akihiko-senpai, Fuka, and even Aigus with her after all. Oh, right. You're Aigus' sister, aren't you?
Again, there shouldn't be an S after that apostrophe, but...
Yeah, that's right. I was made just before her, though.
You seem so stiff. You don't need to be so polite with us.
I heard that you were an earlier model than Aigus-san, but you don't seem less advanced at all. You seem perfectly normal. Do you fight with that axe you're carrying? Could I touch it?
The two of them are interacting with me quite normally, even though they know I'm a machine. This isn't their first rodeo. Even though they must know what happened in Inaba and about my past. That acceptance makes me happy. Koromaru-san is gazing intently at me, too.
Yukari-san, have you been able to make contact with Iori-san?
Yes, a maid is flying this helicopter. A voice from the cockpit interrupts us. Kikuno-san, Mitsuru-san's maid, is in the pilot seat. She seems demure, but if she can pilot a helicopter like this, her skills seem to know no limits. But I've been told that Kikuno-san isn't a Persona user. Isn't it dangerous for her to come with us in a situation like this?
I completely forgot. Hold on a sec.
Yukari-san pulls out her cell phone. It seems they are trying to meet with Junpei Iori, another part-time shadow operative and also fellow comrade since high school. While Yukari-san is on the phone, I decide to ask Kikuno-san about the doubts I have.
Saikawa-san, you're not a Persona user, are you?
Please call me Kikuno. And no, I only have the potential towards the Dark Hour.
Oh, I didn't know you had that. Even the maids in the Kirijo family are amazing. So that means you can't fight shadows, right? Then ain't it dangerous for you to come along?
Again, I hope they expand on her in P4AU. If I have the correct information, then the grotesque monsters known as shadows, our enemies, can only be defeated by people who can use personas. In other words, since Kikuno-san is an ordinary human, she could never defeat a shadow, even if she was the most proficient and warrior in the world. If she ever encountered a shadow of her own, Kikuno-san would face immediate death. And yet she smiles warmly as she answers me.
There are more ways to deal with shadows than the direct method. We've never met in person, but I was involved in the operation to rescue you last time. We all do whatever we can to the best of our abilities to fulfill the roles we've been given. That is what it means to fight.
Wow, she's a true professional.
To be honest, I don't understand. True, Kikuno-san is helping us by piloting this helicopter for us. But if that's all it took, then someone could easily program me with the ability to fly the helicopter, and there would be no need for Kikuno-san to be exposed to the danger of having to join in this operation. I can't think of any other words to say, and I look away from her. I end up meeting Ken-kun's eyes, and I feel a little awkward.
It's no use, he's not picking up. This is so important. Why now?
That's Junpei. Yukari-san puts down her phone and turns to us again. Everyone's attention returns to getting up to speed with the current situation.
We'll just have to begin our search on our own.
You know, Kikuno-san, I'm surprised you knew where we were without having to contact us at all.
I traced the GPS signals from your cell phones. We're still partners with the police force, so it's no problem to do that in an emergency. Then again, we've just seen how even that doesn't always help.
You mean about Junpei-san?
Yep.
It's like he's going out of his way to inconvenience.
That's Junpei. He's always bungling like an expert. Yukari-san's side is with an exasperated expression. As I reflect that this Junpei appears to be some kind of odd person, Kikuno-san taps her armrest as if remembering something.
Oh dear, I almost forgot. Labra-san, please review these documents until we arrive at our destination.
With that, Kikuno-san hands me a folder.
San asked me to tell you about this, but under the circumstances, would you please look through the material on your own?
As I flip through the documents in the thick file, I notice certain names appearing again and again. Mitsuru, Akihiko, and the names of everyone here. What is this?
It's a summary of the activities that took place 3 years ago.
3 years ago? You must mean... I see. Whoever's behind what's going on is definitely connected to those events.
3 years ago refers to the incident leading to Mitsuru-san and the rest meeting one another. I haven't had a chance to go over the detail, but supposedly it's the case that became the impetus for Mitsuru to establish the Shadow Operatives. And the bond that they have formed among each other. They were nurtured through the battles they took part in back then. And such deep connections look radiant in my eyes. I decided that it's important that I learn about what happened then. And as important as learning more about more about who or whatever is behind the events going on now. If I just wanted information on it, I could easily transfer that data directly into my memory. But by actively reading it like this, I will be able to understand what happened. Her thoughtfulness of treating me the same as a person makes me happy. Again, not their first rodeo. Kikuno-san glances at me once more and nods slightly, as if in approval.
I think it looks good on you. A proper appearance is important when going out on a grand stage.
Does she mean the uniform I'm wearing? Oh, I get it. She must have been the one who prepared the Yasagami uniform and that Kurosawa-san gave me. Her sudden compliment is a little embarrassing, but I can't help but smile. I mean, this uniform, to me, is proof of my connection to Yukon and his friends. Kikuno-san reacts with a small smile. She produces some other items.
Ken-san, I have acquired evokers and suitable weapons for you.
Okay, so for Lotus Prince's benefit here, evokers are like gun-shaped, are like special items used that are required as a kind of aid to summon personas. Because you can only summon personas under extreme under different circumstances, and it's kind of difficult to do it normally. So evokers are used to kind of like force it out. And in order to do that, most of them are shaped like guns, and basically you emulate shooting yourself in order to work it. Though oddly enough, that's only the explanation and the localization, and probably because the real explanation was a no-no, because in the original Japanese they were actual guns. Yeah, that's a general evoker.
This would be the best for me.
Yeah, Ken uses a spear. Ken takes a spear from Kikuno-san and sits back with a satisfied expression. The spear is longer than Ken and is tall, but he seems confident. Wouldn't such a weapon be too unwieldy for him to handle? Yeah, Ken was pretty smart. He chose the spear as a weapon because like he figured the link would compensate for his lack of height.
Kikuno-san, what is this?
And Yukari took archery, so her weapon is a bow. Kikuno hands Yukari-san what appears to be a large pink bow that perfectly matches as the suit she's wearing. Upon seeing it, Yukari looks baffled.
It's the ultimate arrow!
It's so pink.
I acquired reference material from the publisher and had it made. Don't worry. It's more functional than the prop on your show.
Again, for Lotus's benefit, Yukari right now is a model and an actress. And she's actually acting on the latest season of Featherman, which is like a fictional Sentai, a fictional Sentai universe, a fictional Sentai series within the Persona universe.
I'm pretty sure that makes it the best bow ever created, but...
In actual combat, I thought that using a form factor you're comfortable with would be best.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to have a logical explanation like that.
Was my arrangement unnecessary?
Yeah, it was unnecessary. No, it's fine.
I like it. Can I see it for a moment?
As Kenkun reaches toward the bow with interest, I sense the helicopter tilt slightly to the side. Yeah, Ken's a fan of the Featherman series.
We're circling around. Please hang on to something.
The helicopter leans more sharply as Kikuno speaks. It seems that we need to take on more fuel before we reach Inaba. I reflect on Elizabeth's words as I look down on the view spreading out below us. It reminds me of that mysterious sea-like place. The air in the helicopter is heavy. Upon reaching the last known location of Mitsuru-san and the others, we immediately see the guardrail is broken, as if a car smashed through it. We look down the cliff and discover a black vehicle below. Unmistakably Mitsuru-san unmistakably Mitsuru-san's limousine. There were no skid marks on the road, and that indicated braking, and the car's body was seriously damaged. It appears that it had been going at a very high rate of speed when it hit the barrier. Everyone paled in an instant, and we were all at a loss for words. But the driver was the only person in the vehicle, and though he was injured, there was no traces of blood from anyone other than him in the car. We wondered for a moment if the others had been able to leave the vehicle on their own, but if they had, they would have tried to contact us. It also seemed odd that they left an unconscious and injured man behind. Furthermore, there were no footprints around the vehicle at all. They did another search on their GPS. We did another search on their GPS signal, but there were no signs of their whereabouts. That left us with only one conclusion.
Think about it. But does this mean that they've been captured?
Let us be optimistic and assume that they're still alive. If they were captured, then the enemy values their lives and will do no harm. We do have a chance.
I carried the injured driver to the bottom of the cliff, back up from the bottom of the cliff back up to the road. Kikuno-san requested a vehicle to transport him to the hospital under the Kirijo family's care. Kikuno-san made this decision since we wouldn't have been able to explain what happened to a normal ambulance. Also, it's possible that the people from public safety would take him away if we reported this to the authorities. Kikuno-san asked the personnel to arrive in the transport and who arrived with the transport to ask the driver about what happened when he regained his consciousness. That will likely be difficult, however. If this is similar to what had happened last time, the driver would have no memories of the events, much like the people who captured me and transported me to Inaba last time. However, there's no guarantee that the same had happened to the limousine driver. Not long after, we were back in the helicopter, which takes us to where we are now. To be honest, everyone's at a loss about how bad the situation is. Kenkun tries to change the topic in an attempt to divert us from our worries.
It's amazing that you know how to pilot a helicopter, Kikuno-san. I heard that it's hard to hover in the mountains. Did you train for that?
only a couple of years ago, but I have taken part in an assault operation involving a helicopter.
Again, I want to know this woman's story.
You were in an assault with a helicopter? Where?
Just a high school dormitory.
Huh? Oh yeah, I remember that.
What?
I decided to learn how to pilot in the event that if someone attempted the same move, I would be able to respond properly.
My understanding has been renewed. It seems that being a maid is a very serious and difficult occupation.
Oh, damn. Well, I finally got in touch with Junpei. I don't know why, but he's already at Yasuo Inaba Station, so I told him to stay there.
He's not going to stay there.
In any case,
It's
we should
Junpei.
head to Inaba too. We might find some kind of clue there.
Mitsuru-san's group had gone missing before sunset. It's almost midnight now.
Whoever did this must be the same person who kidnapped Labra-san. It's unthinkable anyone else would be able to do that.
This really needs to end soon?
The question is what he intends to accomplish by kidnapping them.
Cancun flips through the report that's on the event and to the case up until now. What is to be gained by kidnapping Mitsuru-san this time? At that moment, a heavy static flickers across as the video flickers across the video displays within the helicopter.
The strong win, while the weak
Here we go.
Tonight, we will witness the hottest battles in all history. The goddess of victory is waiting to descend upon the ring. P1 fans, are you ready? Are you ready?
Time to let loose an all-out war!
The contestants in the previous P1 Grand Prix have returned for another tournament, right on the heels of the last one. These warriors will create another legend here at the world-shattering P1 ring! These are battles of honor, battles of will. Sparks will fly. Some fight for pride, some fight for glory. Will this be decided by pure muscle, or will a battle of wits determine the outcome? Things are heating up! Tonight, who will win the title of champion? Who will be crowned with the winner's wreath? Whose tale of glory will resound for generations? All that remains are the dreams of the warriors. As the Grand Prix plunges into its final chapter, the P1 climax is...
Barely getting started!
Hey, what was that just now? Weren't those the Persona users in Inaba? It showed Mitsuru-senpai and the others, too.
I read the case records. If I recall correctly, was that the Midnight Channel that was being broadcast in Inaba? I was on it too, but it wasn't like that last time.
All of us in the helicopter are utterly confused. Who would broadcast something like that, and why? The P1 climax. It's obviously a continuation of the fighting tournament. Suddenly, the monitor switches to another feed.
Yoo-hoo! Have you been well, Labi-chan?
General Teddy? But I thought I already...
General Teddy, in the recent P1 Grand Prix, I called the one calling itself General Teddy turned out to be my own shadow. But I accepted my shadow and gained the power of a persona. But if he is on the screen again, then General Teddy ignores my confusion and continues.
There's no way I'd go away so easily. I mean, a P1 without me is like a tuna sandwich without the tuna.
Yeah, this couldn't possibly be a completely different General Teddy that is just some kind of villain taking on Teddy's form for some odd reason, because because apparently he had the same idea to make everyone cringe.
He can hear us? Isn't he that weird persona user named Teddy?
No, he must be the General Teddy who hosted the fighting tournament last time. The record said he'd been eliminated, though. General Teddy, where did you take Mitsuru-san and the others? If you don't give us a good answer, you're gonna pay!
It's past your bedtime, Cubby. If you're gonna keep giving me lip, I'm not going to explain anything.
Explain?
That's right. I mean, the three of you are very important guest stars in the P1 climax, after all. So you'll participate, of course.
What? What are you after?
If you value the lives of the hostages, you yapping pup, you don't have any choice but to participate.
Huh?
The P1 climax. It's the end of the world. One-on-one death match that's worthy of the name Climax. And best of all, if you don't win the one-on-one tournament to the finish within the hour, the world will end. No punches pulled this time. I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not be taking place within the TV world. It will, in fact, take place in the reality which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can. Alrighty then. Time to show off how that special stage is going.
The video feed switches to something else.
Was that Mitsuru-senpai?
Sonata-san, Ida-san, and Fuka-san too!
What will be the fate of our captured queen and her loyal minions? Oh, and this is a no-fly zone. We don't have any room in the parking lot for that thing, so you'd better start walking to the battleground. As a little incentive, Persona! Kintoki Doji! Throw him a tomahawk!
With that one last command from General Teddy, the monitor turns off. After a moment of silence, Kikuno-san shouts from the cockpit.
No. There really is a missile coming our way. Evasive maneuvers. Brace yourselves.
A missile? Ah!
As soon as Kikuno-san shouts, the helicopter makes a sharp turn, and we're all thrown to the side. There's a deafening roar, and the helicopter shakes madly, but recovers.
Only hit?
It barely missed, but there's a good chance that it will still detonate.
It exploded! Wait, it's a firework?
In the moments after the explosion, General Teddy's face was drawn in the sky with colorful sparks. It even managed to capture his image, taunting us with his tongue sticking out.
He obviously missed on purpose. It was most likely fired from the direction of Inaba.
That is not funny at all! Is he trying to start a war or something? Wait, what is that?
There's something in the distance. It's huge!
Hikari-san points toward the shape of a gigantic building stretching towards the sky. Something red is writhing around that bizarre structure, trying to envelop the town below it. It's red fog.
I'll zoom in.
Kikuno-san adjusts the monitor that had just been displaying General Teddy's laughing face to show it as the enormous structure up ahead. I noticed Yukari-san and Ken-kun both tense up, and they tense up when they catch sight of it. Yeah, so that's Tartarus.
No way. This is just like
Tartarus.
Named after one of the sections of the underworld in Greek mythology, Tartarus was a sprawling tower in P3 that reached so far high up, it literally took a year to climb. Searching data for Tartarus, results found. A labyrinth that only appears during the dark hour, and a breeding ground for shadows. It was also the place where a powerful being was going to descend upon the world to bring about destruction. The documents in my hand have a page dedicated to it as well. What I read there confounds me. 3 years ago, when Mitsuru-san and her companions were in high school, something happened there. All I can gather is that they fought desperately in a tower called Tartarus that resembled the one outside. As the red fog grows thicker, the building that Ken-kun and Yukari-san and referred to as Tartarus begins to disappear from our view.
I'm sorry to do this, but I have to withdraw before we're shot down.
But we've come so far.
If they fire another one at us, I won't be able to dodge again. Even if it's only a firework, a direct hit can still bring us down.
Hold on, Kikuno-san. Can you drop low enough somewhere so we can get out?
There's no way. If we land, we'll be sitting ducks.
No, once we're out, you get out of here. You don't need to land.
What are you saying?
Please, do it. Don't worry. Remember, General Teddy asked us to come on foot. We'll manage somehow.
Understood. I'm looking for a landing site. There appears to be a large shopping center nearby.
While dodging explosions from missiles flying mercilessly towards us, the helicopter nosedives, plunging us towards the ground and as we move closer to Inaba.
Labra-san, please take this. It may be of use. It contains the data that was taken from the Ergonomics Research Laboratory's top-secret files. The creator's name is Shuji Ikutsuki.
Wait, does it go on the PSP? Kuji Ikutsuki. That name was also in the documents that Kikuno had given me. He betrayed Mitsuru-san at the last moment 3 years ago and revealed himself to be an enemy. Ever since the death of Koetsu Kirijo, the patriarch of the Kirijo family 2 generations ago, this man took the lead in terrible events relating to the shadows. That is how dangerous this man is, but the documents also say that Ikutsuki took his own life.
The file name was Project Puppet Master. I'm not entirely sure if that's a code or a description of the project.
Puppet Master? Could that be something to do with me and Aegis?
I was only able to decrypt a portion of it, but it seems to be data on an experiment involving a plume of dusk.
An experiment with a plume of dusk. So, why are you giving this to me?
It may assist you in determining the enemy's identity. Actually, I found traces of an unauthorized attempt to access this file from outside of the Ergo Research Network. I investigated this and found that the requests made to break in originated from this vicinity, likely from within Inaba itself.
Huh? So someone in Inaba knew about that research before all this started and was looking for it?
Kikuno nodded silently. Of all the files of the quarantined server to go after, this one was specifically targeted when the hacker at least have known none of its presence there. The cyber attack wasn't done by some ordinary hacker who broke onto the server and was looking around out of curiosity, which means that the hacker is probably either the culprit himself or someone connected to them.
The firewall prevented the intruder from accessing the file, but the the attempted hacker didn't even try to cover their tracks.
What? Who would do this?
Excuse me. The hacker didn't even attempt to cover their access to the server. Could that mean that they wanted someone to know about the existence of this file, even if they failed to access it? That doesn't make much sense. Putting aside whatever doubts we have, Kikuno-san continues on.
Only in fragments, but the name Sho Minazuki appears many times in those files.
Who is he?
Sho Minazuki. I don't know that name. Could that person be the culprit? At the very least, there's no mistake that this person is deeply related to this case.
I'll contact you once we crack the encryption, but in case it becomes difficult to transfer the data to you, I'll give you a copy.
Then I'll download that data into myself and take a look at the parts that you've managed to decrypt.
That would be for the best.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Kikuno-san hands me a memory card. I insert it into my memory slot and save the data into my internal memory. Just as Kikuno-san says, most of it is experiment records. One file remains that cannot be read. Project Puppet Master. What's in that file?
We'll be over
Oh,
at
come
the
on!
shopping center in a moment. Everyone, prepare to disembark.
Hold on, over there. Isn't there someone on the rooftop?
We all peer into the distance. Beyond the haze of the red fog is Inaba's largest shopping center. My search revealed that the place belongs to a chain named Juness. A blurry figure can vaguely be seen on the roof. Yukon? For a moment, I think of someone I know well, but the height and physique of the shape on the roof doesn't resemble anyone I know. Kenkun raises a pair of binoculars and attempts to make out the signature's face.
That's impossible.
The signature's face? Figure's face. I read that wrong.
Huh? What's wrong?
It's Ikutsuki.
Huh? No way.
Suji Ikusuke? The name leaves me at a loss for words. Perhaps he is mistaken. I open the side door of the helicopter, and a strong gust of wind blows in. I ignore the wind and lean in out to get a better look at the person on the roof. The helicopter is suddenly attacked from an unexpected direction. The vehicle sways alarmingly. That wasn't another missile. When I look again, I see another shape standing near the figure on the roof. I knew it.
We're under attack by a persona.
That doesn't make sense. According to the record, Shuji Akutsuki was never able to use a persona. Is that man on the roof truly this Akutsuki person?
The enemy's preparing for another attack. Incoming!
Before I can raise an objection, Yukari-san fixes her eyes on the enemy and draws her evoker. As expected from someone who had been in actual combat for a whole year, she is quick to act.
Little persona.
Yukari-san's finger flexes around the trigger of her evoker, but in the instant before she pulls it, Yukari-san's persona appears, creating a whirlwind around the helicopter that repels the attacker.
What? I didn't even use my evoker yet.
Seeing Yukari-san so bewildered sends a chill down my spine. Being able to summon a persona without the necessary tool to aid in summoning, Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san reported a similar unpleasant experience when inside the TV world. But this isn't inside the TV world. As outlandish and threatening as the situation is, there is no doubt there is no doubt that we're in the real world. General Teddy's words come back to me.
I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not galaxy which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can.
Don't tell me. This fog was enveloping the town. This fog that's enveloping the town is the same fog on the other side of the TV?
This is fun. What? What was that?
A new voice suddenly reaches my ears. Who was that? I look around in bewilderment. Did anyone actually talk? Am I hearing things? Kikuno shout snaps me out of my thoughts.
He's winding up for another one. We're getting off, Koromaru.
Yukari-san still looked confused, but Kikuno notices something and unbuckles his seatbelt with his spear at the ready. By this time, the helicopter has descended close enough to the roof of Junes that people and dogs can close enough to the roof of Junes that people and dogs can easily jump down. And that's Koromaru's persona, Cerberus. Koromaru growls and another persona appears. At the same time, Kikuno leaps out of the cabin, stabbing at the enemy persona closing in on us. Koromaru-san's persona and Kenkun's spear both hit the attacking enemy at the same time, and Kikuno drops to the roof unharmed.
It seems you're always taking on the responsibility of saving others, Yukari-san.
Seriously, it's like, again, really? But I'll take this one. After all, I save the world on a weekly basis.
Koromaru-san and Yukari-san drop out of the helicopter and nimbly land on the roof. Amazing. Their combat abilities are equal to those of weapons like me or Igus, even though they are secondary members of the Shadow Operatives, used only in times of emergency. It seems as if they've been on the team this entire time. I quickly ready my axe and follow them.
Yukari-san, everyone, please, save Lady Mitsuru.
Oh, come on! Okay, I'm going to have to call it here. This has gone on way too long as it is. Just see if we can yeah, I have to cut it here. This has gone on longer than this has gone on longer than I intended as it is.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimate.
And I really don't want to stay up any longer. Okay then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope oh no, wait. So yeah, we are done with the P4 story and we are moving on with P3. I will do one more of these next week, if given. But the week after that, I am going to set up a Christmas stream because it'll be Christmas Eve that Sunday. So with that done, let us set up a raid. No. Well, why not? Let's raid Void Taffy, who's doing art right now. Give us something chill to end on. Okay then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you like my stuff and you haven't already, please leave a follow. It helps me as a small VTuber. And you can also check my socials over there. And I also upload all my stuff on YouTube. So then, next week, I'll come out... I'll come out with the schedule, but it shouldn't be much different, and we'll be continuing with Fate Samurai Remnant on Friday. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. This is Metis Balaska signing out.